What's going on, everybody out there, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do something special and a little bit of fun for me. So as you all know, we haven't had comic books coming out for quite some time. DC Comics is just now throwing out a couple of titles. Diamond's coming back towards the end of this month. So I thought I'd sit down and reevaluate my pull list, because since we had so much time in between when we stopped getting comic books to now when we're going to be getting our new comics again, that I had a chance to go back and read series that either I never tried or I tried and didn't get into when I first tried it. So I've tried a bunch of new series out, and as a matter of fact, there are about 22 new books that I'm going to be adding to my pull list. So I thought I'd share that with everybody today, share what my pull list was and what books are actually going on. I have DC Comics first, then I'm going into Marvel, and then the Independents. And the Independents is actually where I noticed I had the biggest spike, because I've had so much time and there were so many recommendations from all across the board, but especially with the Independents, there were so many series, especially from Image, that have come out, that are still out, that aren't out unfortunately anymore. There are some series like Sex Criminals that I got into, Wicked and Divine, which unfortunately both of those series are over. There is a special coming out in July's solicits, but otherwise these are books that unfortunately are no longer coming out. But there were a lot of books that I got into that are still coming out. So today I'm going to share, as of July's previews, these are the books that I'm actually collecting. I'm going to start off with the books that I already had on my pull list. Deceased Dead Planet miniseries, Batman 3 Jokers miniseries, The Dark Knight's Death Metal miniseries, which I was on the fence with. I was going to get it anyway, so I didn't mark this as a new series or a series I decided to add to the pile. I was going to try it regardless. Now, for the War of the Jokers, I've added... Well, I've always been reading these books, but Batman, as you all know I do read, but Batgirl I added to my pull list for the Joker War. Now, if I stay with Batgirl after the Joker's War, I might try one issue out after the Joker's War if I'm interested. That is something new on the pull list. Detective Comics and Nightwing, both of those I recently added before we had quarantine and new books stopped coming out. We have Batman the Adventure Continues miniseries, the Batman Superman series, The Flash, which also is something I jumped on before we started not getting new before we lost our new comic books for a time. Justice League, Books of Magic, Young Justice, and The Dreaming. And the Dreaming Waking Hours miniseries or maxi series that's coming out. Those are all already on my pull list. The Dreaming was already on my pull list. Now, let's talk about some new books that have entered the pull list. Justice League Dark is the one that's on the fence, because I was going to add it to my pull list when I found out about the Rot coming back and the Green and Red popping in. However, I didn't start reading it until after new books stopped coming out. So it is officially something that was added to my pull list as new books stopped coming out. Batman Beyond, I believe, 3 or 4 story arcs behind. I have now caught up, and hopefully I'll be able to get the back stories in trade. I was reading, everything I've read so far has been digital, or I've found a way to get my hands on some trades throughout the time where we weren't getting any new books. So Batman Beyond I finally caught up to, and I'm actually very excited to get back into Batman Beyond once it starts, because we just finished the arc where Batwoman Beyond actually debuted for the first time in comics. So I'm really excited to see if Batwoman's sticking around. I mean, now we're getting into the Battle of the Mantle. Who's going to continue being the Dark Knight of Metropolis? And it's going to be very interesting, because as you know, we always want Terry to stay around, but it's going to be interesting to see if Dick's daughter, who is Batwoman Beyond, if she's going to stick around in some shape or form. Suicide Squad, Mike Spider-Slayer. Again, this is another one that was kind of on the fence, because Mike Spider-Slayer was recommending this book since issue 1. I read issue 1 and 2 and I really liked it. However, I didn't really sit down and start to enjoy the series until after the new comic book stopped, because that's when I picked all of the books up physically and started from beginning to where we are currently, and really got into Teen Titans, into Suicide Squad. So, yeah, Suicide Squad entered the poll. Now, I said Teen Titans because that's the last one on this list, and I have it under pending because I have to catch up. I am way far behind, but Teen Titans is something I wanted to add to my pull list for quite some time. So I'm hoping that we still have a little bit of time. Like I said, DC is just now starting to release, a few issues here and there, so there's still time to catch up on a few more books. So hopefully I will catch up with Teen Titans, and as we get into the newer books, continue forward. I know there's a new story arc coming up, so I might try to jump in on the new story arc and then just fill in the gap later between where I'm at and where we are now. Again, it's all pending. That's why I have it down as pending. Now we're going into Marvel. Nonstop Spider-Man. Obviously going to be trying that out. That is a new series. Empire and all of the minis connected to it. It all depends how Empire starts off. This is the mini series or the event series coming out of Marvel that I am going to be taking. I have it pending because this is something I was going to be reading or trying before new comic books stopped coming out. So it's still on the list, and we'll see if I'm reading Empire and any, if maybe all, tie-ins attached to Empire when that starts. X-Men, Children of the Atom, X-Factor, pending X-Factor because X-Factor hasn't come out yet. Same thing with Children of the Atom. These are all pending, except X-Men. X-Men 100%. But Children of the Atom and X-Factor is pending because they haven't come out yet. I need to read the first issue and see if I like the series, and then we'll move forward from there. Hellions, Cable, Wolverine, Marauders, X-Force, all of these books I'm reading currently from X-Men. The Infinite Destinies Annual, which are 2 books a month for 6 months. That's starting in July. That's what they're claiming. Depends on if previews and Diamond catch up and the companies catch up. I will be reading that event/annual miniseries. Web of Spider-Man I will be trying out. Same thing with Champions. All the Outlawed tie-ins and the Outlawed series. Spider-Woman I got into, Amazing Spider-Man, Venom, Thor, Immortal Hulk, Jane Foster, Valkyrie, Star Wars Bounty Hunters, Darth Vader are all books I'm reading from the Star Wars line. Dr. Aphra is pending because I'm going to try issue number 1. Sure, why not? And now, let's get into the new books that are on the poll. Captain Marvel is 1. Followed by Star immediately because I actually read the Star miniseries, her introduction, and I also read the current arc that just ended with Captain Marvel. Very cool stuff. Very interested in continuing Captain Marvel. And Star, I read her first 3 issues, really got into that series as well. So those are 2 series that I've added to my Marvel poll. Strange Academy, I caught up on those 2 issues, really like it. Strange Academy, I'll probably end up collecting in trade. Star and Captain Marvel are pending single issue or trade. Every book that I'm reading is either single issue or trade collection. I'm not going to sit here and bore everybody with how I'm going to be collecting each series, but these are what I'm reading, and these are what you could expect on the comic reviews. And I thought it'd be interesting just to mention how many new series have now joined my poll. So, in a sense, this time of no new comics has helped me build my pull list to an even greater number than it was before. So at least we can I took some positive out of this time with no new comic books. Also jumping into the mix is Daredevil. Love the series. I've caught up completely, and of course we're on the biggest cliffhanger with Daredevil, so I cannot wait for Marvel to release Daredevil. Captain America, I still have another couple of issues to read, but I've been enjoying it so far, so I'll probably end up continuing Captain America. And now the 2 series that are pending are Avengers. I would like to see when the new arc starts, if I'm interested, and then I'll possibly go back. I wasn't really feeling the first arc of Avengers, but I'm hearing good things now, so I'm going to try it out again, of course. And Runaways, pending catch-up, because Kat and everybody else have been talking nothing but good things about Runaways. I feel like I didn't give it an honest chance after the first arc, so why not give it another try? So I'm going to go from arc 2 on and see if after I catch up if I'm still interested in continuing Runaways. But Runaways is on my pull list right now because I want to catch up. So we're going to catch it up and see what happens. Now we get into the independents, and quite possibly the biggest. I would say the books that I am reading is equal the list to the amount of the books I will be getting. That's how crazy it is. So the books I am reading right now from Independence, Chew, C-H-U, which is the sequel series to Chew, C-H-E-W, that ended a few years ago. Chew is taking up the mantle. It's going to be his sister who's taking over the series, and it's going to be a flip. Instead of her being a cop, she's a criminal. very interested in seeing where this goes. I'm so happy Chew's back. Farmhands, which is borderline, but I did start reading Farmhands before the comics stopped coming out, before we stopped getting new comics. So I'm keeping Farmhands on the list of books that I was reading before reading newer books. But I have enjoyed Farmhand. I've actually reread it during this time. But Farmhands I already was adding to the list. It was already on my list. Firepower's pending. It's a new series that's coming out with Robert Kirkman. So I'm going to try that out, especially because I love this Invincible. So I'm going to try Firepower out. That was before we stopped getting new comics. Birthright, Spawn. Spawn I had to catch up on, and thanks to this time I was able to catch up with Spawn. But I already had Spawn on my pull list. I just haven't been really up to date like other books. Stealth, the miniseries, I am getting that. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This should surprise nobody. Any annual tie-in or so on goes along with that. Transformers versus Terminator. I'm glad that I actually read the first issue. I loved it, and I'm going to be continuing it. I'm sorry I have the light in my eye over here. I have windows open. It's a beautiful day out. I got to tell you all, the day I'm recording this is a beautiful day in New York. Green Hornet is pending. First issue's coming out. I'm going to try it out because why not? Death to the Army of Darkness, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and any and all tie-ins that go with it, like Ranger Slayer. Red Mother. Faithless 2. Yes, I know a few of you are like, Faithless? Yes, I read the first volume. I liked it. I can't help it. I've got to try. I'm going to read the second volume of it. And then all the AWA books. I decided instead of listing all the books, because there are certain books that haven't started yet that will be starting, it's the whole line. I'm going to be reading all of AWA's books. And I'm also reading Exo Man of War from Valiant. And I'm also reading, and I didn't put it on the list, and now I'm remembering it. Oh, shoot. I know there was another book that I wanted to put on this list, and it just completely left my mind. But there's another book I'm reading that I left out for some reason that I missed on this list, that I didn't add because of what's going on that was already on it. So anyway, now let's get into the books that I did add since. So Once and Future, I've started that series. Love it. It's pending catch-up. So I am reading it. I'm just far behind. Still, I need to catch up. Deadly Class. I actually sat down and I didn't stop until I made it to the end. Deadly Class is a really awesome series. Loved it a lot. Gideon Falls is a series that I'm still at the beginning of, and I know it's still going on, but I'm really enjoying it. These two series, unfortunately, that I still have to catch up on are probably going to be in trade. Bang, I know it came out before, I know I talked about it before, but I actually read it and decided I was going to finish it after new comic books stopped coming out. Monstrous is pending catch-up because I was reading it, I stopped reading it. I saw Mike Spider-Slayer's trade review, and it reminded me how much I truly enjoyed that series. Manifest Destiny pending catch-up also, because there's a lot of Manifest Destiny to catch up on. Transformers, I started reading, so I'm probably going to be continuing Transformers. Transformer Galaxies is pending catch-up because I'm reading Transformers. I decided to try Galaxies. I've only read 2 issues so far, but I'm enjoying it. Snake Eyes Dead Game, I decided to add that to my pull list because G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe A Real American Hero both are also joining my pull list. So in total, there are a lot of books. And I'm sure there are more. I literally sat through previews. I read through previews several times over. And like I said, I know I'm missing a independent book somewhere. Maybe it wasn't in the solicits for the month of July, and that's why it left my mind. But I know for a fact that there's another series I'm reading that I didn't mention. I know when Saga comes back, I'll be reading Saga. It's going to drive me nuts, and I'm going to probably remember after this video, but unfortunately this video is 14 minutes, and we're going to cut that. We're going to end this video here, so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you'd like to mention, in this time where no new books were coming out, did you try any new books, or did you add any new books to your pull list? I for sure did. Over 22 new books are now on my weekly read, or my monthly pull list to read, and I'm happy. Like I said, I'm pulling a positive out of something super horrible that's going on in the world right now. So, again, let us know, or let me know in the comments below what books, if any, that you've added to your pull. What have you been doing in the time where there are no new comics? Have you gone back to read series you already have read, to reread them and enjoy them. Have you tried out something new? Did you like it? Didn't you like it? I'd love to hear from each and every one of you out there. But with that, as always, you can find me all across social media at Dark Avenger C86. That's Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, which I rarely use. Also, you can follow me on my website, shootingstaruniverse.com. Everything I do on YouTube, everything I do all across the internet goes there, as well as exclusive written posts that I'm going to get back to doing very, very soon. And yeah, as always, don't forget to check out Comic Frontline and all the awesome people on Comic Frontline. We do live show every single Tuesday, Comic Book Weekly. Links to everything else that I have down below in the description. Also, don't forget, every Friday night we have Dark Avenger Live, where we come together and talk about anything and everything, and mostly comic related, but we have a good chat. So hopefully I'll see all of you there. Look forward to another video. This video is actually going up on Monday. On Wednesday I should have a new top 5 coming out. I decided to switch it up this week. And yeah, so till next time, everybody, till the next video, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and I'll see all of you really soon in the next one.